So if you're watching this video, you're probably wanting to know the British Fist thoughts on Raw, or more specifically, the big return that we were going to be getting of The Rock indeed. And we will indeed be talking about that later in the review. Rundown, I should say. I'm Mr. Parkin. This guy sitting next to me is none other than NJ.
What's up?
And as you know, as he enthusiastically says, what's up, we are the British Fist.
Gotcha.
Subscribe down below, like down below, and need we remind you, comment also down below.
And make sure you contact us in the links in the description box below.
Hey, you managed to say it right this time. It's always funny when you say that. First Raw of the new year, and we had The Rock return, we had the WWE Championship match, we got the Raw's 20th anniversary coming up next week. But let's face it, NJ, for most part, apart from the main event of the WWE Championship match, this show felt like filler, really, apart from The Rock's return.
The sad thing for the opener is that for it being the first Raw of the new year, I thought the WWE at least want their year to kick off with a bang. Yes, the main event gave us the bang, but the rest of the shows you're about to hear didn't really live up to a beginning of a new year start.
Indeed, especially a road to Royal Rumble and WrestleMania start. Let's get straight on to the in-ring action and booking, which probably won't take us that long as there was so much filler on the show. So, of course, WWE kicked off with something new and fresh, and we got John Cena versus Dolph Ziggler again.
This match, yes, the WWE know these two can perform in a way, especially Ziggler, but it's a match we've seen before. Nothing really pay-per-view worthy anymore, so it's a bit of a letdown here.
It's quite funny, isn't it, how Dolph Ziggler wins at the pay-per-view, but John Cena wins all their matches on free TV, despite interference from Big E Langston and AJ Lee, and Big E Langston even managed to get a mic. Goddamn, why is it that WWE will book Cena to win despite interference by Big E Langston, who previously took out, and even Big E Langston's finisher wasn't enough to finish the match or at least give Dolph Ziggler an advantage. He just comes right back out of nowhere and AA's him, gets the win.
There was a slight feeling that Ziggler could have maybe slipped up the quick cheaty win, but the WWE went down the same booking even on the first Raw of the new year, which is basically saying Cena gets the first win here. Let's see how many more wins we can give for the rest of this year.
Same old shit rings true here, and I guess they want to keep this guy looking strong going into WrestleMania season, where they probably want to use him to draw a little bit of money. Eve versus Caitlyn for the Divas Championship. Caitlyn won by countout. Talk more about that in the next section. Hell No versus Rhodes Scholars. It's a match which you'd think they'd have on pay-per-view at some point. The Rhodes Scholars get the win here because of Daniel Bryan's injured knee.
Team Rhodes Scholars, they getting the win here. I do like this kind of stuff. There'll be more in the later chapters, but I still think the win here was given to the right team for the reasons of the future of the title defences. Indeed,
I think so too. We had Orton versus Slater and Sheamus versus Jinder Mahal. 3MB involvement. Orton and Sheamus win. Barrett versus Santino. They just had Barrett win the IC belt and they had him go against Santino. Why? Cesaro versus Khali. This is pretty much done to show the Cesaro finish for main event where he lifted up Great Khali in a neutralizer. Again, kind of filler really if you think about it. Big Show versus Kofi. Lasted about 20 seconds. You've got to think that they would have been probably pushed for time because they wanted to have a big overrun this week. So Big Show beats Kofi in 20 seconds. Say bye to Kofi's push, everybody.
I didn't really see much to this. I think Big Show getting the win was, showing how strong he is and just building more Big Show than Kofi.
And then you look at the feud that they're going to probably have Big Show involved in, which we're going to talk about next in the character enhancement and storyline advancement section. As you can tell from the in-ring action and booking, quite a lot of the same old stuff and filler, really. When Randy Orton, when Sheamus, and when Cena get big wins on the show against filler opponents, you know that we're entering the Royal Rumble filler period where WWE won't really write that many storylines into the Rumble. They just want to focus on The Rock versus Punk and the Royal Rumble itself and not really too much else. You can really see the groundwork being laid here for quite a lot of filler coming them down the line. You've got to admit, Orton and Sheamus and Cena are probably favourites to win that Rumble, so they're all winning.
Even though they are trying to keep them in good health, good shape, and not write storyline and stuff, it's a bit of a shame that you have big names going against little names, not really making, especially the first Raw of the new year, not have big, exciting matches, just these boring matches that you can know what's going to happen, you know the top guys are going to win.
Jobber
It just really didn't feel like special to these.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the concept of jobber matches, but if they're there to forward on a storyline, then fine. But it's the fact that they're just matches there for no reason. They're just there to fill time from now to the Rumble. They did it last year. Remember when Sheamus was never involved in the feud and just kept facing Otunga, Jinder Mahal, da-da-da-da-da-da. And to all those people that think that TLC win did a lot for Dolph Ziggler, well, since then he's got shit dumped on him and now he loses to John Cena again. And, you know, WWE have to focus now on Cena going into WrestleMania strong, as he'll probably have a big match either against Rock or someone else.
The thing is, with Ziggler, yes, at the moment he's getting the same booking, but I still have the thing behind Ziggler, because when he cashes in, he's going to become a world champion. There's going to be no, he's going to be just like John Cena. He's not going to be able to cash in and lose. So I think Ziggler is going to become a world heavyweight champion. Maybe a spark will fly and he'll start winning matches. Something magically will happen with him. But I say for now, Ziggler is going through a real long bad patch, but the best is yet to come.
Hopefully so. Del Rio versus Big Show is going to happen at the Royal Rumble. They got Del Rio versus Big Show on SmackDown.
That's the thing, they've been teasing this, and I think while Del Rio's got nothing to do and Big Show's moving away from Sheamus for now, I do like that. So putting these two in a feud, it's a SmackDown feud which I don't really care about. So to be honest, put these two now. As long as it's not Sheamus Big Show again, I'm all for this for that reason.
Del Rio was a babyface, though. I mean, oh god. The interaction between Wade Barrett and Ricky Steamboat after the Santino match. Hopefully, this will lead somewhere. Ricky Steamboat being a legend. I mean, be something for Barrett, I guess, being the IC champ.
When you put wrestlers up against big names, either through ring or mic talk, you know there's going to be something special about them. Like you've had Mick Foley with various wrestlers. You've had Bret Hart with various wrestlers. Now you're getting Steamboat involved. I think this may be saying that we're going to put Barrett in the ring with this guy and see what yet to come from this.
Yep, so involving Barrett with Steamboat could probably lead somewhere. Who really knows where it's going to go, but you're involving Barrett with some kind of name from the past. Daniel Bryan had an injured knee. Does this mean Rose Scholars are going to win the belts probably down the line somewhere going into WrestleMania to maybe face the New Age Outlaws?
Well, backstage they did tease this whole Kane and Bryan still thing breaking up, how they blame each other for the loss of this match. And I do think eventually they're going to lose the championships, probably lose the rematch, eventually break up and bring that feud I don't want to see. But as for Team Rose Scholars, I think when they win the championships, that's when big things will happen for them. They'll get the focus they want. Yes, the feuds might not be any good because the tag division, the WWE, still sucks. But at least they'll probably head towards WrestleMania and have the big eye-catching match.
Indeed, you've got two of my favourite wrestlers there. Cody Rhodes and Damian Sandow hopefully set up for a big spot down the line. Caitlyn got a count-out win over Eve. That you'd have to imagine she'd be going for the Divas Championship, but maybe Royal Rumble, possibly winning it.
I am disappointed at this. Yes, it was only a Raw match, but it was for the championship. It's another championship match. Caitlyn's not actually fulfilled and finished and got the win. Yes, the Divas are not going to be involved in the Rumble, so maybe she'll get the win at the Rumble, which I really will not agree with the WWE if Caitlyn loses yet again. But when Caitlyn wins the championship, all go for her.
During Cesaro's match, much like on Main Event, we had Miz on commentary, kind of teasing a US title feud between the two. It's amazing, isn't it, how they turn Miz babyface, and the first thing he's doing, the first proper feud he's doing is a US Championship feud. But I guess at least it is a credible feud for a Cesaro, so I can get behind this somewhat.
Even though I am looking forward to Miz getting back to the championship run, because we've seen him as the US Championship champion before, and he did a good run with that. But if he's here just to put over Cesaro, hopefully it's not just a one-off match like most Cesaro's feuds are. The thing I'm looking forward to is their matches because it's going to be good to see. But Miz, in my opinion, could have became, especially when he turned face, a top face main event if he gradually got the better booking and believable wins. But I'll say this is a start for that to possibly happen.
You thought Miz was going to be a main eventer when you got Ryback, Cena, Sheamus, Orton ahead of him in the pecking order.
Well, we got Orton probably turning heel, so that's going to be one face gone. John Cena's not always, hopefully, in the future, there's going to be other people running up to it. Ryback needs we need more faces eventually when Orton turns thing, and I think with Dolph staying heel, it's not going to happen, so Miz turning face and going to the main event would be a good spot for him.
Quite possibly. So basically, we've gone through all the filler now. I know it took us about sort of 7, 8, 9 minutes, but let's get to the main talking points now, the stuff that we all know you want us to talk about. So quite obviously, as you all knew, the two main talking points of this show are going to be the WWE Championship TLC match between Punk and Ryback, and then the eventual segment where The Rock returns and gets involved with CM Punk. We'll first address the WWE Championship TLC match. I must admit, I did go back and watch this match. It was I believe it was the match going into the 3rd hour as well. It was a pretty decent match. I guess we'd probably best talking about the finish, really, other than the match itself.
Well, what I want to say about the match is that all of Punk and Ryback's matches, this one did intrigue me, get me interested a lot more stronger. I did like the weight went down. You had Heyman. Yeah, he didn't get involved, but his reactions were really good for this. Heyman's mic worked throughout the night, especially when we get to the next part. It was pretty good. I did find him good on mic. But this match, I will say it's one of their best.
Let's face it, though. Did you really believe that Ryback had any chance in this match, knowing that they were going to do CM Punk versus Rock, which kind of begs to differ? Was there really much point? I guess they did this more to further along the Shield and Ryback storyline than anything else, really, didn't they?
I did not once think that Ryback was going to win, but I did have the idea that if Ryback does actually beat Punk, he could have gone to face The Rock, and it wouldn't have mattered if Rock actually beat him, because Ryback would have had a month run at last, and he would have lost it to The Rock, who would have gone to WrestleMania and faced Punk, hopefully. But it didn't happen. We had Punk retain, the Shield get involved, made this match the way we should have all predicted to happen, and it teases that whole, is Punk actually the leader of the Shield?
Or maybe even Brad Maddox. I guess my overwhelming feeling about this match is that at the end of the day, it's another loss for Ryback, you know, and it's another chicken shit heel win for CM Punk, which had, you know, a win which he had nothing to do with, and he's claiming he's the best in the world, but then again, he's winning these matches with the help of an outside faction. He's not doing anything, you know. It's kind of annoys me that the top heel on the roster can't even win his own matches. And I'll just say that.
Even though he couldn't win his own match, the way it finished with Punk laid out after you think Punk could have had the win, Ryback laying one side.
The lights went out as well, yeah.
It went really, really good way. I like how this finished. I'm not going to complain about this match. The Shield get involved. I think they needed a part on this Raw like they do next week. So I just really thought this match went down the way it should have.
I mean, the booking of it as well was pretty good when you had Ryback just about to touch the belt and all of a sudden the lights go out in the Shield, even though it's the same way they take out Ryback again, but you know, we'll leave it there. We'll move on to the mains.
The only thing I was going to say, the only way I would have tweaked this a little bit for a comedy aspect is when CM Punk got his back to the belt, you know, reaching from behind, if it suddenly rose and the Rock was like,
rehashing WWE copying more stuff from TNA as they hoisted up their ladder in the Austin Aries Jeff Hardy match at the Turning Point pay-per-view. Anyway, let's go on to the main segment of the night. The segment which a lot of people will be talking about, let's face it. The segment where you had CM Punk come out, and it seemed to me like they were trying to do some of his Summer of Punk stuff, even though really it's a little bit late kind of now for his character. But he basically gets on the mic saying that he's worked the fans to get the popularity, and there is a glass ceiling in WWE that people cannot break. And it seemed like he was really trying to relive some of his Summer of Punk promos, like talking the truth and talking from like an insider perspective, which, you know, does entertain me on the mic, especially being the kind of fan that I am.
Well, if or as this is getting near the time when Punk's going to lose his championship, yes, everyone, once you're the champion, you're going to want to hold on for it forever. But logically, obviously, other people have to beat you for it. So I think giving Punk the time to just say what he wants again, the fact that it's been a year since the Summer of Punk, he's able to continue saying the exact same thing because nothing's changed. He's putting Cena back where he was. Nothing's changed. And it's bothering CM Punk. He says that everyone, he didn't care for them, just like Cena's meant to and all this stuff. This mic work was definitely CM Punk gold.
It was just so different from what you expect from a normal promo. It seems like WWE, you know, like, we need to hype up this match somewhat, so let's try not as well as the Las Vegas promo, but let's try and at least do some sort of work shoot kind of thing. And then you have The Rock coming out, You know, again, I felt The Rock again was resorting a lot to his insults, but again, you know, it's the Rock. He's very insane. I thought the last 4 minutes of this promo segment were really good. Once it started getting serious, once all the cookie puss shit got out the way, I was a bit like, cookie puss, really? I mean, but the last 4 minutes of this promo, I felt the last 4 or 5 minutes when they were getting serious was gold, in my opinion.
The thing is, The Rock, yes, people back him saying, "Oh, Punk ripped Rock, blah blah blah." But we all know Rock for his comedy. He used the insults to get the crowd behind him. He used the insults to get at people. So I expected no difference from The Rock. What The Rock did there, people complained, people stick up for Punk, but that was Rock being Rock, what we wanted to see. CM Punk was being CM Punk with all of his talk against The Rock, against Cena, against the WWE. So both characters played their part very well. And when they got the last few minutes talking against each other, talking about the match, promising who's going to beat who, this is where Rock was being Rock, but then they actually got to the point where Rock basically said one of the best bits, I can't do it word by word, but he says, on one side, you're going to have all this candy on it, all these little chocolate bars, and the other side, you're going to have my boots, I'm going to kick your candy ass. I loved it, and CM Punk ended up getting rock bottomed, which I thought was a full stop to Raw.
Indeed, and I did also like the line that CM Punk did when he said, "Your arms are too short to be wrestling with God." I thought that was a pretty nice line to put in there as well. I think that was referencing some song that I don't know of some artist that I have no idea of. Yes. But I mean, Nas. Who the fuck's Nas? Nas. But anyway, but before going into this Raw, I really wasn't that excited for The Rock's return, but when I did watch this segment back, and yes, as we hold up the CM Punk DVD and the Rock DVD that NJ has, so it was it was a pretty damn exciting segment. Looking forward to their match at the Royal Rumble and the Royal Rumble match itself, which I guess will account for about maybe 2/3 of the pay-per-view. So I guess you could say 2/3 of the Rumble. I'm actually quite looking forward to.
The sad thing about this, though, is the parts about Raw that mattered were more Punks and Rocks than any other. Like the World Heavyweight Championship didn't mean much on this show. Yeah. They made yes, Rock and Punk are going to be the main event, but still got all these other title matches. And stuff going on. Now we're just a letdown.
And it's like you had sort of 3 hours of like kind of stuff, like I might tune out of this, which is why we stopped watching Raw. And then at the end you had that gem, and it's like WWE were really trying to just keep you hanging on so they could get that rating as high as they could. So it's another one of those shows where like you have a gem as the main event, like remember like the Lesnar stuff, but then like in the others you have like just stuff that you don't really care about that much, like filler and storylines that you just don't really care about, characters you don't care about. But then you have the Rock and Punk.
And that's the thing. This thing I'm going to say, many people agreed with me once I spoke to them on Twitter and Facebook, which you can check us on in the link in the description box below.
Indeed.
The thing about this is that it was the main event, like the Punk match, Ryback, especially the main event between Rock and Punk, that saved Raw. Because yes, Raw might have some comedy moments from different various wrestlers saying stuff, doing stuff, but it was the main event that made Raw the way it was.
But is it enough to make you want to watch 3 hours live just to see one sort of gem of a segment and the rest of it being like just nah? Because I don't really feel that's enough to warrant my 3 hours on a Monday night.
Well, to back that opinion up, so I do agree, we've even got The Rock appearing on SmackDown, which is his own show, which it's a 2-hour show, but I don't see Rock controlling the 2-hour show. So I can't really see me thinking, I'll watch SmackDown too.
We might talk about it in the British Wrestling Rundown, so we'll probably almost more than likely talk about it. So yeah, look forward to that video on Friday. So that was pretty much the main talking points. Give us your opinions on the WWE Championship match, but more importantly, the segment between Rock and Punk. Who do you feel won the mic war, and how do you feel the segment went down? Did you enjoy the segment? Please let us know in the comment section below.
And thank you very much, YouTubers, for Mr. Parkin sitting right here, me, NJ, sitting right here. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. And please, forget about the rest of the show. Give us your thoughts on the main events. And until next time, YouTubers, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.